interpretations, mostly suggesting that America's most prolific serial killer was a pretty nice guy. An astrologer, then popular on Kansas City television, had this to say.
I think that you can be very good with kids, and it might be a good medium for you to learn to be more trusting in the giving and receiving.
And here is what she wrote about the period between Gacy's arrest and his sentencing.
It was a time that should have brought you some recognition with peers, or just feeling that people liked you and cared about you.
A noted astrologer and psychic charged $65 for a 90-minute reading that included this observation.
Your presence would be of a beneficial nature to other people, a real calming kind of effect.
A $7 computerized reading described Gacy like this.
Extremely sensitive with strong feelings, kind, gentle, considerate.
But there was also a warning.
You have the right to get what you want to. Don't always be defensive and back down, or others will exploit you.
Advice that might be appropriate to almost anyone, except America's most prolific serial killer. And a nationally known astrologer charged $50 for an 11-page typewritten reading.
In whatever you do in life, it's important to let your personality show through, to have a line of work in which you can be yourself. And then he says you have an instinctive awareness, and your uninhibited response to life can refresh and gladden whomever you encounter.
And finally,
he says you are strange, but your strangeness is very important and something to be taken seriously. Given what is considered common in the world needs your strangeness.
A fifth astrologer was hired, but when the skeptics analyzed her reading, they found she had miscalculated Gacy's time of birth by 5 hours, despite the reference chart skeptics provided. Tim Allen sums up.
None of the astrologers were close at all to the chart. They all completely missed it. They were advising the person in the chart to go into the youth ministry, which was probably one of the worst pieces of advice John Gacy could have actually been given.
Today, when we understand that, in fact, the planets and the stars are distant cosmic bodies, completely unconnected with Sylvester Stallone's love life or anything else that's going on Earth, it really isn't appropriate to use the system of belief from thousands of years ago.
Next time someone tells you that astrology works, just remember the Kansas City sting.
I was introduced to the paranormal as a teenager. I was one of 2 youngsters who approached the McDonald Laboratory